The projector was taken away, and I looked towards the throne. She looked exactly like my best friend, but with no emotions. She stared into my eyes, and I had to take my eyes down. There were few changes I noticed on her body, like her height and her facial structure changed a bit. Her ears were quite bigger than usual. And the part that scared me the most was the masculinity in her tone and walking step. These were the things she said to me. I had no access when we were quite younger. The food I dished to you, you would not eat, with the reason that you were fasting. The gifts I got you, you would not use them. You would leave them untouched for years. I could not access you. Now coming to my house to eat from my table, to wear my clothes. And this period of sadness made things easier for me to access you, to bring you in to what you've been missing for years, and to prove to you that having a man in your life is nothing but rubbish. You are being offered power and money as we speak, and no daughter of my kingdom will suffer. Your heart will be taken away from you, because that alone is a tool of weakness. Whatsoever you need shall be provided to you. This is my great offer to you, my dear friend. Immediately she was done saying those scary words to me, that same tall man walked up to me from nowhere, tapped me at the back of my head, and I woke up. I could clearly remember everything that happened that night, and all the unanswered questions I had in regards to my best friend were all answered. I knew she was not ordinary from that moment, and I knew whatever happened that night, there would be no going back for me. I got up from the parlor and went to the room to have my bath. She wasn't yet out of her room. So when I was done brushing my teeth and having my bath, I came out with the intentions of seeing her and asking her more questions. But I noticed that when she came out of her room with her phone in her hands, she gave me an odd look. And when I tried talking to her, she shunned me and told me whatever happened last night remains there. Do not confront me on anything that didn't happen on this surface. I was so blown away by what she said to me, but it wasn't a surprise. I was talking to a full-fledged queen of a particular cult. I decided not to think about what happened that night, and I went out to get things in the market. On my way there, I started to see different colors of flames on people. And I also noticed that a few had no flames around them. It took me a while before I understood, days after, that each color of flame symbolizes a particular addiction that human had. The highest color I would see was the color red. Now, this red flame had an awful smell, unlike the other flames. And I noticed that the male gender had this color more than the female gender. This new thing that I had gotten myself into activated a lot of things I would not experience in the past. A lot of powers were given to me gradually. And I also started deriving joy in watching other people cry. The normal morning prayers I would do, I suddenly lost interest in everything prayers. I would skip any motivational stroke gospel preaching because I felt such huge guilt each time I saw them. I had a thirst for revenge, and I wanted to visit the family, the one who hurt me, and the accomplice. Now, from this part, my best friend wasn't so aware of everything and every plan I had to take revenge. I had already moved to that other place that was vacant, as earlier on she informed me, so as to get my life back on track. I lost all communication with my family. I didn't even want to face them. For months, no one knew about my whereabouts. I would get credit alerts from an unknown source and sometimes from my best friend. The least I would get would be 100,000 naira monthly. I had already learned how to exit from my flesh. So one cool night, I projected myself into his house towards the kitchen, still learning my way around. The first person that saw me when she came into the kitchen to pick her toy was the little girl. She saw me and wasn't even scared. She let out a small hi and walked away. Then I followed her. I saw her mom coming to also get her, as though they knew she was going towards that direction. They could not see me, but the little girl could see me. I watched as the innocent family stayed next to the devourer. I had no iota of sympathy. All I wanted was for them all to go 6 feet and feel the heat 10 times of what I felt the day he abandoned me. A force took me straight back to my flesh. And mind you, I was pregnant all this while. All this while, I was still pregnant, wallowing in the thirst for revenge.